The Multilin hard fiber system from GE Digital Energy is revolutionizing the installation and ownership of power system protection and control. By replacing copper wiring and the associated apparatus with the Multilin hard fiber system, utilities are saving on both equipment and labor costs. To understand the Multilin hard fiber system, let's take a look at a common scenario: a substation that needs its protection and control to be retrofit with microprocessor relays. We'll start by looking at the expense of undertaking this retrofit with traditional copper wiring. Then we'll compare the savings and benefits of retrofitting the system with the Multilin hard fiber system. Using the traditional method, an on-site utility electrician connects the copper wiring to all the primary power system apparatus. Each signal of interest needs its own copper wire, with most signals requiring 2 copper connections. This results in dozens of terminations per apparatus and thousands per switchyard, each manually installed one by one. Individual copper wires are then run from the switchyard to the control building via outdoor cables. Each element in the switchyard requires multiple copper cables to be installed, which results in literally miles and miles of copper wire weighing several tons. The cables enter the control building and terminate at a rack where the signals are distributed to the new microprocessor protection and control devices. The termination racks include thousands of individual wire terminations. Within the protection and control panel, individual copper hookup wires connect the copper wiring from the termination racks to the terminals on the protection and control devices. With this traditional method, the expense of the copper alone is quite substantial. However, the impact of the labor required to wrestle with the copper wiring running all over the substation is far more significant. The workforce needed to design, install, and test this system is highly specialized and not easy to substitute with a general labor force. This represents a significant hurdle for utilities both today and in the future. Let's examine the total investment that's needed to design, install, commission, and maintain this retrofit with traditional copper wiring. We refer to the total investment as the total installed cost for the system. The first component of the total installed cost is materials. This includes the relays, copper cabling, terminal blocks, test switches, and other odds and ends that make up the protection and control system. In most instances, the material component accounts for roughly 10 to 25% of the total installed cost. Additionally, we need to include all of the labor required to create the systems. The labor portion consists of the head office engineering and drafting, the construction and installation staff, and finally, the commissioning and testing personnel. Since in most applications, the labor component of the total installed cost usually accounts for 75 to 90% of the cost, this is the most significant area for delivering meaningful savings and improved efficiency. Now let's take a look at retrofitting the system with the Multilin hard fiber system instead of using the traditional method. The cornerstone of the hard fiber system is known as the hard fiber brick. The brick is a hardened switchyard interface that connects to the primary power system apparatus. As its name implies, the brick is the fundamental building block of the hard fiber system and is designed to meet the electrical and environmental challenges of operating in a switchyard environment. The purpose of the hard fiber brick is quite simple. First, the brick limits the copper wiring to where the signals are generated. And second, the brick provides a standard, consistent communications interface for the devices that use the signals. The hard fiber bricks are installed very close to the primary power system apparatus and become the sole interface for the sensing and control signals in the switchyard. Each brick provides 4 point-to-point bidirectional fiber optic communications channels, each one dedicated to serving a single protection and control device. All the real-world signals in the switchyard are returned to the relays in the form of IEC 61859-2 sampled value messages. All commands, including trip and close commands, are sent from the relays in the form of IEC 61858-1 goose messages. Pre-terminated communications channels inside point-to-point outdoor cables are installed between the hard fiber bricks and hard fiber cross-connect panels in the control building. The cross-connect panels break out the 4 fiber channels in each brick cable along with multi-fiber cables from the protection and control devices. The signals are then patched to the associated devices without any Ethernet switches or routers in between. Finally, in order to make use of the digital communications to the switchyard, Each protection and control device has an IEC 61850 process card that connects to the hard fiber cross-connect panel. Now let's take a look at total installed cost using the Multilin hard fiber system. By forcing the copper wiring to stay out in the switchyard, all of the associated labor remains out there as well. This drastically reduces the labor component for retrofits by roughly 30% or more over traditional methods. The end result of using the Multilin hard fiber process bus system over traditional copper wiring is an overall savings of 25% or more in the total installed cost. In this example, we've examined the advantages of the Multilin hard fiber system in the most common circumstance, a protection and control system retrofit. It's important to note that the Multilin hard fiber system delivers even more savings and benefits when deployed in a greenfield installation. For completely new substations, new power system apparatus, or when all the copper is at the end of its lifespan and needs to be replaced, the Multilin hard fiber system can deliver savings of 50% or more. As we can see, regardless of the situation, the Multilin hard fiber system represents a true breakthrough in the installation and ownership of protection and control systems. Visit us online to order yours today.